Hi everybody, my name's Nikki Ashton and I'm here today to talk to you on behalf of the blog The Librarian Talks. I'm going to answer a few questions and hopefully give you a better insight to me as a person and as an indie writer. So first question is, why do I write in my particular genre? So the genre that I write is romantic comedy. And I guess the reason that I write romantic comedy is because I am a Pisces, and if you are into star signs and things like that, you will know anybody that's a Pisces is an absolute romantic. We all want a happy ending. We want everybody to be happy and live in a land where there's unicorns and rainbows and fairy dust and things like that. The other side of it is the comedy side. I just love to make people smile. I love to make people laugh if I possibly can. That's not to say that all the way through my books, they're a laugh a minute or anything like that. It's just I just want you to be happy when you read it. And yes, there may be some things that will make you a little bit sad in some of those books. I've had readers message me and say, "Oh, I loved that book. It made me cry and it made me laugh." So for me, that's it. That's fantastic. If I can evoke any emotion in anybody, then I've done a good job. I've had people. One of my books, I won't tell you which one in case you read it. I did kill off quite a main character, one of the main characters, and a friend of mine has never picked up one of my books since. She was so upset. She stopped reading the book halfway through and has never picked one up since. So maybe that's not a good thing. Even though it ended up with a totally happy ending, she's got no idea because she wouldn't finish it. But mainly it is romantic comedy, and for those reasons. I like everyone to have a happy ending. I like you all to be happy and have a smile on your face when you read it. That's not to say that I don't admire people who can write a book that makes you cry. I've just read a book not so long ago. I'm sure a lot of you have read it. Carnage by Leslie Jones, and honestly, I have never cried so much during a book. If anybody mentions, I could tear up now talking about it. And I think to be able to do that, to leave somebody with a lot of emotion at the end of a book for days afterwards, well, this is weeks afterwards with me, I think that's a fantastic talent to have. I am actually moving into contemporary romance myself, and while I don't think there'll necessarily be that sort of book that will make you sob and will leave you with heartache at the end of it, because I've still got that romantic inside of me that will give it a happy ending if possible. Yes, they will be a little bit more emotional than what I normally write. So I've got a book series coming up called the Connor Ranch series, and I've just finished the first book of that, which is called Box of Hearts, which is a beautiful story about it's about finding love after loss, really, and about 3 relationships between a man, a woman, and a man and his daughter, and then the 3 of them together. So it's a lovely book, and I'm hoping that you will all enjoy it when it comes out in the summer. How long have I been writing? Probably since I was about 10 years of age. I wrote, I always loved literature at school and English language and English literature at school. And so if we were ever asked to write a story, that was just my favourite ever lesson, loved it. So when I was about 10, we were asked to write a poem about climbing a mountain, or a story about climbing a mountain. And I did it as a poem. And it got well received by my teacher, and I had to stand up in school assembly and read it out to everybody, which was the most embarrassing thing I've ever had to do in my life. But that was, I guess, where my love of writing started. Although saying that, I think when I was about 6, I wrote a book. It was a drawing book, and there was pictures with it, and it was about 2 gangs of children. One was a poor gang and one was the rich gang, and it was. I think I was about 6 or 7 when I wrote it, so it was probably terrible, but I think I thought it was amazing. So I've been writing a long time, doing it as a job, if you like, 6 years. And that started because my first book, Guess Who I Pulled Last Night, I'd written that 10 years previously, tried to get it published, couldn't get it published. So the manuscript sat in a cupboard. One of the reasons I couldn't get it published was because it was Bridget Jones had just sort of come out. I think the film had just come out as well. And every letter I got back said, we have got hundreds of books of this type waiting to be read, and you don't have an agent, so I'm sorry, we're not going to even look at it. So it just sat in a cupboard. And then about 6 years ago, we moved out of our house into temporary accommodation while we had our house renovated. And my husband found this manuscript and he said, what are you going to do with it? Is it going to sit in another cupboard, or are you going to actually do something with it? So when we moved back home, the manuscript came back with us, and he said again, so have you decided? So Kindle was on the up, and I just thought, yeah, let's give it a go. I'll publish it. I'll see how it goes. I was extremely lucky with that book. It's a good story, but I never had it edited and I didn't have it proofread. And luckily, I think the story won out because it's one of the best sellers of my books. And 1 week, I think after it being out about a month, I put it on for a free weekend and over 20,000 people downloaded it. And it still sells today. It still sells really, really well. It's not my bestseller by any stretch, but it does still sell. So I think I was pretty lucky with that. And also getting that many people to enjoy it, I managed to get myself a nice following of people. So I've got, a good following of people that always message me, always want to know when the next book is coming out. So I've got a lot to thank that book for, despite the things that, that I should have done with it that I didn't do. So how does my books relate to my life path? I guess Who I Pulled Last Night, that relates to my life path in the fact that it's pretty much autobiographical, except it's about three friends in their 30s, and the things they get up to was a lot of things that me and my friends did when between the ages of 17 and 19. Some of it's been exaggerated, some of it's been toned down, but yeah, it is a lot. And the relationship between the three girls in the book is exactly the relationship that I've got with my friends. There were more of us during those days. I've got a really close group of friends, but we all had a similar sort of, we all had a very close relationship. We were like sisters. Yeah, we had fallings out like any groups of girls do, but the relationship between the three girls in Guess Who I Pulled Last Night was very much the relationship that I've got with my friends. And I guess that's the same through all my books. Most of my female characters have a very, very close friend, and I would say those relationships are based, again, on my relationships with my close friends. A lot of the things that they talk about, a lot of the things that they say to each other, the sort of things that I would do with my friends. I mean, my close group of friends, two of my closest friends, we've been friends for 40 years since we were at junior school together, so we are very, very, very close indeed. And the other thing, I guess, that